What's up, model community? It's your boy Chris coming at you live as always from the man cave. I wanted to take some time to do a video about some new arrivals. New revivals. Anyway, it's early day, so I'm drinking that high quality H2O. Or as I often call it, prepping for beer. But anyway, small stack, not as big as I usually show in these videos, but something interesting. In this video, several of these records have shrink wrap, and for a change, it's actually some interesting shrink wrap. So, to tear off, because you know how much I hate shrink wrap, so to tear off or not to tear off, that is the question. Find out the answer with me. So anyway, first things first, I often like to start out these videos, the new arrivals videos, the new finds, with a holy shit record. And here it is. Idle Moments, Grant Green, original mono pressing. And for those of you who watch all of my videos, I know what you guys are thinking. Like, Chris, didn't you just show that not too long ago? Well, I did, but that was an original stereo pressing. It was so clean you could eat off of. And it's one of the cleanest Blue Notes I'd ever seen, and definitely one of the cleanest ones I had in my collection. So I had it made up in my mind, basically, that that'll do me. That was it. Especially, you know, at the price that these original mono pressings go for. And I got a really great deal on the stereo, especially for how clean it was. Like, there's not a sound on it. But my boy DJ Parra hits me up. Found an original mono for a price I was never, ever, ever going to find again. No doubt about it. And you guys know how I am. But I just, you know, told him, I was like, hey man, you know, this stereo is super clean. I'm like, is it really, you know, is it worth it? And he's like, well, you know, you remember what I did. You know, he sound compared his stereo and his mono. His stereo was a little cleaner and he still kept the mono. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get this now. I'll sound compare them side by side, and I'll make my decision. I'll be able to sell either one of them easy. So, got them, sound compared, mono blows it out of the water. Pretty much exactly like I expected. So the next owner of my stereo was Dylan at Noble Records, who owned it for, I think, Dylan, if you're watching, a day, 2 days. Someone come in the shop, made him an offer he couldn't refuse on the album, and it belongs to some other lucky bastard now. So, congratulations, lucky bastard. You'll be hard-pressed to ever find one that clean. But, of course, because you guys know how I wagon wheel. Split out. Deep groove. Obviously, this one's super clean as well, or, you know, I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have went for it. But, that stereo. Man, not a sound on it. Joe Henderson on the tenor, Bobby Hutcherson on the vibes. Bobby Hutcherson really shines on this one. Of course, Grant on the guitar, Duke Pearson on the keys. He's awesome on it. Bob Cranshaw on the bass, and Al Harrowwood on the sticks. This is one of my absolute favorite albums ever. It's one of my favorite pieces in my collection, no doubt about it. The covers, as every Blue Note cover is just flat out spectacular to look at. And as spectacular as it is to look at, it's even better to listen to. It's, if you're a jazz collector, if you're a jazz fan, this is a must, especially if you're a fan of guitar. I'm talking to you, my boy, Chris has Suspense. Get it into your life. It's great. So, next up, presenting the Gary Mulligan Sextet. Original mono press on MRC. Great stuff. Mulligan on the baritone sax, Zoot Sims on the tenor, Dave Bailey on drums, John Eardley on the trumpet, Bob Brookmeyer on the trombone, and Peck Morrison on bass. Awesome stuff. Good record. Can be found for cheap because it's MRC and not Blue Note or Riverside or Contemporary or Prestige. Great stuff. Next up, the Village Caller, Johnny Little. Not one I know all that much about, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Yeah, every now and then I do get some stuff I'm not that familiar with, but it's on Riverside, and it was a really great price. It was a little bit of a blind buy, and my boy told me I would dig it. Again, original mono press. Great deal. Why not? Next up, okay, Eddie Costa, Art Farmer, in their own sweet way. So Premiere, I'll blind buy anything with Art Farmer on it. I just will. That's a stance of mine. This one has shrink wrap, but this is not one of the ones I was telling you guys about that has interesting shrink wrap. This is just shrink wrap. So you guys know what I do with shrink wrap. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Feels so good. Hurts so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Yeah, gotta go. Now it looks like a record. All right, next up, the complete Charlie Shavers with Maxine Sullivan. Great stuff on Bethlehem. Great record. As well, mono press. I think just about everything I have in this stack's a mono press actually, which is a rarity even for me, with as much as I love my mono presses. Charlie Shavers on the trumpet, Hank D'Amico on the clarinet, Benny Morton on the trombone, Ken Kersey on the piano, Aaron Bell on bass, Panama Francis on the sticks. Isn't that just a badass name, Panama Francis? Great stuff. I'm trying not to spend forever on this video for you guys, for a couple reasons. Number one, I know y'all got shit to do. Number two, every time I do a 50-minute video, it takes like 2 days to download it. Who's got that kind of time? I don't. Next one up was a little bit of a blind buy, Afro-Cubop. But you doing his orchestra featuring Milt Jackson, Howard McGee, Brew Moore, and Charlie Parker. Couple of blind buys in this stack. But Afro-Bop can be fun sometimes. It's a change of direction for me. It's a little bit different. You know, Charlie Parker, of course, on the alto with unknown Afro-Cuban band. Brew Moore on the tenor. Howard McGee on trumpet, and Milt Jackson, of course, on the vibes. It's great stuff, I'm sure. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. It's on Spotlight. And it's got shrink, as you guys can see. Okay, this is one of the ones with interesting shrink. Reason being, look up there in that corner. That's a Tower Records sticker. This bad boy was bought at Tower Records, which is always, of course, I never got a chance to go to a Tower Records, obviously. And I've always been fascinated with Tower Records. The documentary that came out a few years ago, All Things Must Pass, I'm sure most of you have probably seen it. Fascinating, and I just always thought to myself, man, how cool it would have been to go into Tower Records and shop and have records from Tower Records in my collection. And this shrink wrap's got a Tower Records sticker on it, so it came from a Tower Records. Which one, I could not tell you, but that's cool. It's a little bit of an interesting dilemma. It's like, okay, well, this one definitely came from Tower Records, Chris. Do you keep the shrink wrap? I don't know. Stay tuned. I haven't made my mind up yet. But like, I know you guys are at home thinking, look at Chris. But again, no guarantees it stays. Next up, Akio with Joe Henderson. Also a blind buy. It's got Joe Henderson on it. If it's got Joe Henderson on it, it can't be bad. It's like a rule. Akio is a Japanese jazz guitarist. I've never heard of him. I have no idea who he is. I'm not even going to lie. Joe Henderson, of course, on the tenor. Akio Sasajima on the guitar. I hope I said that right. Peter Sachs on piano and the synthesizer. Kelly Seal on bass. John Whitfield on bass. Mark Walker on drums. And Phil Gratto on drums. I know what you guys are thinking. That's a lot of different, but they split, sides and songs and whatnot. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. This album came out in the 80s. So by then, Joe Henderson was an old man. Released in 1988. So I'm definitely looking forward. It's on Muse Records. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing this. Absolutely. Because, again, anything Henderson. Okay, so the shrink on this one. Again, look up there in the corner. Tower Records. Again, very cool. Because I always wish I could have went to a Tower Records. And the price on this one, $7.99. Dang. Must have been nice. And so again, hadn't made my mind up yet. The Tower Records, that's pretty cool. I mean, for some of you guys watching this might have gotten to go to a Tower Records back in the day and everything, and you might have been like, Chris, it's not that cool. But for a guy like me who respects the history of record stores and whatnot, and what Tower Records did for the industry, and never got to go because, well, of my age, that's very cool to me. And this one right here is actually my favorite, and it's not a Tower Records. I don't think. No. It's not from Tower Records. but it's cool anyway. It's actually The Gambit, Shelley Mann and His Men, Volume 7. Stu Williamson, Charlie Mariano, Russ Freeman, and Monty Budwig. I think Shelley Mann records pretty good, and the best thing about them is they can be found for cheap. It's on Contemporary, one of my favorite jazz labels. Everything on there is great. This is, once again, our first mono press from 1957. Okay, my favorite thing about the shrink wrap on this one is the following. See that sticker in the middle? Sale price 47 cents, guys. 47 cents. A service of Scorpio Music District, Incorporated, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19126. So this one, I guess, belonged to Scorpio Music District, whatever that is. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm curious. And it's still in the shrink wrap, and I just think that that sticker's cool. So, anyway, to rip it off or not to rip it off, that is the question. Am I right? Who knows? I haven't made up my mind. In the past, guys, even with my stance on shrink wrap being what it is, I have been known occasionally, if I thought a hype sticker was really cool, to take the hype sticker off and put it on the jacket. I've been known to do that like once or twice. Not very often. Like, here's one that I bought not too long ago that already had the hype sticker on it. It's one of my favorite soul albums of all time, and it's simply self-titled Curtis by Curtis Mayfield. And of course, there's that awesome hype sticker on it, one of my favorites I've ever seen, that promotes the single, Don't Worry If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go. Love this, original press. Not too long ago, I showed this guy to you guys in a video. I didn't have the honor of putting that hype sticker on the jacket. The first owner ever had to have done that, but had it been me, I would have done it. Matter of fact, I got I got rid of a copy that didn't have that on there just to get this one. So that's how cool I thought it was. This album's not going anywhere. This is one of the ones that will probably always be in my collection. So yeah, so man, you know what to do on these. You guys know I hate shrink wrap. A little torn. The ones with the Tower Records stickers, that's awesome. The only ones in my collection that I have. That sale price, 47 cents, that's really cool. I'm gonna throw you guys. At least for the time being, I'm gonna keep the damn shrink wrap on all three of those. I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. Like as soon as I throw them on, I pull them out the jacket, and I'm like, well, look at this ridiculous shit. I reserve that right, absolutely. But for now, your boy Chris, at Tunes from the Man Cave, is leaving shrink wrap on records. For now. No, I sold out, guys. But I'll let you know how long it stays on there. That was real quick. I want to get you guys out of here in under 15 minutes. Looks like I'm going to do it. Until next time, until next video, where I will make up for this by tearing some damn shrink wrap off some records. Keep dropping that needle, you guys.
Look, you're not tipping it off.
It's
Right.
big.
Mm-hmm.
It's big.
Mm-hmm.
It's big.
So we need to get 47.
Where's Simon?
47.
Go, where's Simon?
There we go. All right, we've got it all added.
Where's some more?
No, we can't add any more. That's enough. That's plenty. Now, can you take